get people all the time coming in, we're evaluating their home to sell it, and we say, hey, it's worth this, and then they say, well, Hillsborough County Property Appraiser site says it's worth this, Explain the difference for people out there listening, how you guys come up with those assessments, the time lag too, so that they can kind of understand in perspective how that relates to their actual home value.
Well, the first thing to understand is there's a big difference between fee appraisal, or sort of one-off, property appraisal, and mass appraisal, which we have 516,000 properties in Hillsborough County.
Sure.
So it's not feasible for us to look at every individual property and appraise it based on 3 comps and look at it from that standpoint. We have to utilize technology and larger market areas and what have you to kind of come up with an estimate. And it also, as a result of that mass appraisal, we're looking. We have to set it on a particular date. So January 1st of any given year is the date that all the properties are reassessed. So in essence, we kind of we're archival in nature. I mean, we're looking back to January 1st of 2016 as the date. Our values are as of that date.
Sure.
And so to really answer your question, as a result of that, and we're at the same time we're supposed to, by law, we appraise it at 100% of market adjust value.
Sure.
But it's understood that not everything that goes into a sales price is
something you guys
something we look at. So we have to back out basically things that aren't actually part of the sale, that aren't actually the land and the building. And so it's hard for us to figure out, because again, we're not looking inside, we're not looking at the drapes,
looking at the upgrades or any of
all those kinds of things.
Sure.
So the Department of Revenue allows us to back out a cost of sale, and typically that's up to 15%.
Okay.
It's not exactly 15%.
Yeah,
people
it
say,
varies.
well, if you look at it, is your appraisals 85%, 95%? They could vary.
It varies,
but.
Yeah.
But that really accounts for the difference.
And I think that's a perfect explanation, because again, we'll get people and they'll come in and they'll be sometimes surprised and sometimes excited because the number's higher, and then sometimes it's the other way. And obviously it depends on what's happening with the market. A few years ago when market prices were dropping, that reaction was completely different than it is today. But
well, the other thing, also for folks, a lot of times people will be shocked on 2 different fronts. One is that they buy a home and they look at what somebody was paying before, and they're not taking into account what we talked about before, the Save Our Homes cap and what have you, and it resets when they buy the new home at the actual value, and starts from there. Now if they have anything to port, they're right there. And then also sometimes what people will look at their neighbors or what have you,
and want to
say,
know why.
Why are they paying $800? I'm paying $2,000. Well, again, they're not.
It could depend on the exemption.
Exactly.
We're going to be back after a quick break, continuing our conversation with Bob Henriquez, Hillsborough County Property Appraiser, after a quick break here on 970 WFLA.